Hey everyone, and welcome to Setting Up Shipping and Taxes for Squarespace Commerce. My name's Eunice, my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm part of the customer operations team here at Squarespace. I'm thrilled to be here with you today to discuss all things shipping and taxes, so thank you so much for joining. If you've joined us for our Getting Started with Squarespace Commerce webinar, welcome back. Today, we'll be continuing our store building journey using the same Lolasana site I had introduced in that webinar. So if you haven't yet watched it and are curious to know how we built the online store you'll be seeing in this session, be sure to sign up at learning.squarespace.com/webinars. And as a little thank you for joining us today, we've set up the discount code MERCHANT10 for all webinar attendees to use. Enter this code at checkout to take 10% off your first purchase with Squarespace, whether that be a domain name or an annual website subscription. Throughout the webinar, we'll mention resources you can refer to for more information on specific topics. You can find all of our help guides in our help center at support.squarespace.com. But for your convenience, we've linked all the guides mentioned in this session on our resources page. So if you haven't yet done so, please take a moment to locate the resources window on your screen. You may need to expand that window to see the full list of resources. We'll also send a follow-up email once this session ends with a link to the resources page and a recording of this session. You'll have all the information sent straight to your inbox that you can refer to at any time. Take a moment to also locate the Q&A window. If you have any questions about today's topics, feel free to type your question there. Questions are asked and answered privately, so don't be shy about reaching out. And lastly, we recommend closing your personal sites during the webinar and focusing your attention on what's presented here. After the session has ended, you can re-watch this webinar at your convenience using the same link while applying the tools to your personal sites. Okay, now on to today's topics. We'll start by exploring our built-in shipping options and set up shipping rates. Then we'll create fulfillment profiles with product-specific shipping rules so you can have more control over the delivery methods and shipping costs for your products. And then we'll end the session with a look at setting up tax rates. And now directing your attention to the media player, I'll be working out of two separate browser tabs. In this first tab, I have my Lolasana site where we'll continue our online store building journey, and I'll be using this finished site as an example to work from. In this second tab, I have a trial site I've created. I'll be working directly in this trial site to recreate shipping options and taxes from my finished store. Since the goal of today's session is to know how to set up your store's shipping and tax rates, let's take a look at my finished store to get an idea of the outcomes we want to achieve. So here on my finished Lolasana site, I've already added 2 pink yoga mats to my cart. So I'll click the cart icon in the header to view my shopping cart page. And then I'll click checkout to go to my checkout page. On the checkout page, let's add my email address. Next, under delivery methods, there's a store pickup option in addition to shipping. So I'll need to enter my shipping address to view the available shipping options for my location. And once I do, a few shipping options automatically appear, and they'll always be ordered from the least to most expensive. And the one I choose will be the method by which all products in my order are fulfilled. Later, we'll look at creating product-specific rules so you can set different fulfillment methods for your products. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss it. Next, my store is currently in test mode, which is why I see credit card information pre-populated in the payment section. I'll select Use Shipping Address, and then continue on to the last step, review, and purchase. My order summary to the right shows me my order items, the subtotal, sales tax, shipping cost, and the order total. This session will focus on creating the fulfillment methods we saw in step 2 of checkout, as well as setting up sales tax for our store. Now that we're familiar with the outcome and the checkout flow, let's dive in. Heading back to my trial site, we'll start with our first topic, creating shipping options. Now, before heading to the shipping panel, your first step is to add weights and dimensions for your physical products, especially if you plan to offer weight-dependent or carrier-calculated shipping. This is crucial to calculate shipping correctly. I'll go to Commerce, Inventory, and select Physical from the left menu to view all of the physical products I've added to my site. This is also a great way to confirm that all the physical products you're selling have been correctly created as physical products and not another product type. Recall from our first webinar that creating your products with the correct product type is the first step to ensuring a successful checkout experience. I've got 2 physical products on my site, meditation cushions and yoga mats. The arrow next to yoga mats indicates this product has variants, and I'll see each variant by clicking on that arrow. If I click on any of the variants, the variant editor appears for me to edit them all at once. For a unique item such as this, I'll need to ensure I'm adding the dimensions not as they are when the mat is opened up, but how it would be when packaged. I've added dimensions to all but one variant, so let's add that in. When rolled up to be packaged, the yoga mat is 24 inches in length, 4 inches in width, 4 inches in height, and weighs 2 pounds. Adding accurate dimensions will be especially important for carrier-calculated shipping. And now that all the variants have dimensions, I'll click back and save. Next is my meditation cushion. To edit, you can click the featured image or hover all the way to the right of the product row, click the 3-dot icon, and then select Edit. Since this product doesn't have any variants, I can add the dimensions to advanced shipping in the fulfillment section. My meditation cushion is 20 inches in length, 15 inches in width, 5 inches in height, and weighs 6 pounds. My product measurements are all in inches, but if you want to use metric units, you can go to your settings panel, then language and region to switch the measurement standards for your product weights and dimensions. Here, let's click Apply to save my changes. Since customers might also want to know the weight and dimensions of your items, you can add that information to your product description. Alternatively, you can add this information to additional info right below the description field and add it to a text block. So I'll paste those details into this text block, then click Apply and save this product. For more on additional info, visit our guide on adding additional information to products. And remember that all guides related to this webinar are available on the resources page. So now that we've added our product dimensions, it's time to set up shipping, pickup, or delivery options. At least one option must be added if you sell physical products. To add my store's shipping options, I'll head back to the Commerce panel and scroll down to Shipping, then click Add Shipping Option. You can offer a single option that applies to all orders or offer a variety of options for customers to choose from. The types of products you sell will be an important factor to consider when setting up your store's fulfillment methods. You can also create specific options for US-based customers and ones for non-US customers, which we'll look at in a moment. So let's start with flat rate shipping. Since this shipping option offers a flat fee per order, You won't need to add weights and dimensions to your products if you only plan to offer flat rate shipping, but it's never a bad idea to add them in case you add other shipping options in the future. Flat rate shipping is a great idea for those whose inventories contain items of roughly the same weight and size, and where the cost of your products is significantly more than the cost to ship them. So, this would be a good option to consider if you sell jewelry, for example. I'll select flat rate from the menu and give this option a name, which is what customers will see at checkout. If you plan to offer multiple shipping options, consider the option name a way to differentiate the options for customers. You can choose to name it by the carrier and the service you'll be using, like FedEx 2-Day, or something more generic like standard shipping. I'll go with standard shipping and indicate 7 to 10 days. And I'll add a per order fee of $7. If I stop here, all orders, whether they have one item or multiple items, will be charged $7 for shipping. To charge an additional fee for each item in an order, I can add a per item fee. Let's say my per item fee is $1. A customer purchasing one item would be charged $8 for shipping. So $7 for the per order fee and an additional dollar for the one item. A customer purchasing two items would be charged $9, and so on. Next, I'll click Shipping Zones to specify the locations this shipping option applies to. Once customers type in their address at checkout, only those options that have been set up for their location will appear. Since this is for my US-based customers, I'll search for United States. And notice that it reads 54 of 54 states. For the US, Canada, and Australia, you can specify the states, provinces, or territories you're shipping to, if not to all of them. Click Edit to select specific states. And for sites on the Commerce Advanced plan, you can narrow down the shipping zone to a city or postal code. Since I'm shipping to all states, I'll select all states/territories, and then I'll click Done and Save. So far, I've created a shipping option only for my US customers. To ship internationally, I could create a separate flat rate option, charge a higher per order fee, and then set the shipping zone to rest of the world or select individual countries. Another way to use flat rate shipping is to offer options for additional shipping speeds. Since I already have a standard shipping option, I can create another one for overnight shipping with a higher per order fee. I'm not setting up either of those at this time, so let's cancel and discard. Now let's move on to the second shipping option, weight dependent or depending on weight shipping. Unlike flat rate shipping where you set a single rate for an entire order, for this option you'll be creating weight ranges for all of your physical products. The total weight of an order will determine the shipping cost. To demonstrate, let's click Add Shipping Option and then select Depending on Weight. Add an option name. So this will be Express Shipping, 3 to 5 days, and then add weight ranges that make sense for your inventory. Since I've only got two physical products, one weighing 2 pounds and the other weighing 6 pounds, I'll start my first range for an order containing one yoga mat, 0 to 2 pounds, and then click the plus to add a new weight range and to edit the second row. The second range will be 2.01 to 6 pounds, and then I'll leave the last range for an order weighing more than 6 pounds. Let's now add costs for these weight ranges. $5, $10, and $15. The costs I'm adding right now are arbitrary, so to get the most accurate shipping costs for your products, I would recommend looking into the prices for the carrier and service you plan to use. Lastly, I'll need to add shipping zones. This is also for my US customers. And I can always add additional countries or create separate weight dependent options for countries outside the US. Now that I'm done, let's save this option. The final built-in shipping option is carrier calculated shipping, which is only available for shipping within the United States and for sites on the Commerce Advanced plan or on certain legacy plans. If you want to offer carrier calculated shipping but also plan to ship worldwide, you can set up carrier calculated rates for orders that will ship within the US and then set up additional flat rate or weight dependent options for orders outside the US. What's unique to carrier calculated shipping is that it uses real time rates to automatically calculate shipping fees based on your carrier's rates. So there's no need to manually input shipping costs. This option takes into account the weight and dimensions of the items, plus the shipping distance to determine true shipping costs. It'll be especially important to add accurate dimensions of your products based on how they be packaged for shipping so the carrier's rates can be determined correctly. The carriers we support with this shipping option are FedEx, UPS, and USPS. For a full list of each carrier's supported services, visit our guide on carrier calculated shipping. Now, I've decided to go with UPS for my business, so I'll select carrier calculated via UPS. And next, I'll select UPS ground. Keep in mind that you can select multiple services. If you have an inventory with products of odd shapes, you'll especially need to consider the types of packaging your store will need. We sell yoga mats at Lolasana, and I know that when they're packaged to be shipped, they'll be rolled up instead of folded. So to have the shipping price be calculated as accurately as possible, I'll consider using packaging that best fits the shape of my rolled up yoga mats. In the UPS containers tab, it looks like carrier containers are not available for UPS ground, which means I'll need to add my own in custom containers. I've purchased 6 by 6 by 38-inch containers, so I'll click Add a custom container, add those dimensions, and name this package Tube. They also sell meditation cushions, so I'll need to be sure I have packaging for those as well. The dimensions of my cushion are 20 by 15 by 5 inches. I'll click the plus, add the packaging for my cushions, 22 by 16 by 6 inches, and I'll name this medium box. If you plan to add padding or anything else that would add to the overall dimensions of the packaged product, be sure to adjust the dimensions in the product editor to account for the padding materials. If I stop here, this would be great for customers who only purchased one yoga mat or one meditation cushion, but I'd also need to provide bigger containers for larger orders. At checkout, our system will pack large orders into as few containers as possible, selecting the largest box that can fit all or as many of the order's items by default. Carrier calculated shipping takes into account the product's weight and dimensions, the customer's shipping address, the number of packages required for an order, and the size of the containers. We encourage you to test out your boxes, envelopes, or packages to determine how your products will fit. Enter the dimensions of all your packages in custom containers, and remember to account for large orders. Now back at the Formula tab, I have the option to add a markup to the shipping costs as a percentage or dollar amount to charge more than what the service will calculate at checkout, and essentially to charge more than you, the merchant, are spending. The markup will ensure all costs associated with shipping, like the price of packaging, handling, potential margins of error, time spent, and other costs are covered. Finally, I'll add my ship from zip code, 10001, as real-time shipping rates take distance into consideration. Now that I'm done here, let's save. I've added each of our shipping methods for demonstration purposes, but there's certainly no need to add all three types to your store. Use our guide on choosing the right shipping options to help you consider what's best for your business. Throughout the webinar, we'll discuss some features that are on the Commerce Advanced plan, and we'll be sure to call out whenever a feature is on that plan. If you want to have the most flexibility and options when it comes to shipping, we recommend using the Commerce Advanced plan. To wrap up our shipping options, those who want to offer free shipping can do so using the flat rate option or by creating a free shipping discount code. To create a free shipping option for customers to select at checkout, add a new shipping option and select flat rate. You can name this option free shipping and then leave the per order fee and the fee per item blank. Don't forget to set the shipping zones for which free shipping will apply. Another way to offer free shipping is to create a discount code. You can create a promo code that customers would need to apply at checkout, or if you're on the Commerce Advanced plan, you can create an automatic discount to have the free shipping code applied automatically as long as the order meets the conditions you've set. So for example, you can create a free shipping discount to remove shipping costs for all orders, or for orders with a subtotal equal to or over a certain price. If I wanted to encourage customers to spend a certain amount and decided to offer free shipping for orders over $50, I could create a free shipping code with those parameters. This might not make sense for items that are more expensive to ship, so you should think about what makes sense for your business. Next, let's take a look at setting up pickup options for your store. To create a pickup option, click Set Up Pickup in the Shipping panel. Then click Add Pickup Option. Enter the name of your pickup option, like In-Store Pickup. And then under Pickup Information, enter all details you want to share with your customers regarding their order pickup, such as your address and any special instructions. You can also enter your available hours, though it's not possible for customers to schedule a pickup time. All the information you enter here will appear on the checkout page under the pickup option, as we see on my finished site. So if you're not looking to publish your address, you can instead add it to the Ready for Pickup email notification in the Customer Notifications panel. This is the email that gets sent to the customer as soon as you mark their order as ready to be picked up. And finally, under optional information, add your pickup address so you can charge taxes for pickup orders based on your location. So we're done with my pickup option. Now we can save. You may also want to offer a delivery option if you sell flowers or custom cakes. To do so, you'll need to create a flat rate shipping option. So back in the shipping panel, click Add Shipping Option and select Flat Rate. I'll offer a free delivery option and leave the fee fields blank. Lastly, I'll need to add a shipping zone, which is especially important for delivery. If you're based in the US, Canada, or Australia, enter your country, then click Edit and uncheck All. Enable only those states, provinces, or territories you plan to offer delivery to. And recall that if you're on the Commerce Advanced plan, you can narrow it down to specific cities and postal codes. So here I can limit free delivery to the postal code 10001, then click Done and Save. And when offering a delivery option, you can add a custom checkout form to collect information from your customers at checkout, like the best delivery time, their contact information, or a gift message. See our guide on creating a custom checkout form for more on how to set one up. As a final note on pickup and delivery, if you're building a site for a restaurant, you can use Talk, our all in one tool for businesses in the hospitality industry, to offer online ordering and manage other operating needs. You can learn more in our building a restaurant site guide. Okay, so at this point, we've recreated all of the shipping options we saw earlier on my finished site. If we stopped here, my customers would go through checkout and select one shipping option for their entire order. Now, having gone through this process with me, you may be wondering which of those options might be best to offer for your store. You might also determine that there isn't an ideal one size fits all shipping rule that works for your entire inventory. So, with this in mind, we've enabled product specific fulfillment. Merchants can now have more control over their store's fulfillment by assigning shipping rules to their products. Every store is different and may find a unique purpose and way to use product specific fulfillment. To set it up, I encourage you to start with a product or a group of products that have special characteristics or delivery needs. Common types are fragile products or large and heavy items. Or perhaps your products vary greatly in size and therefore you find that flat rate or weight dependent options for your entire inventory don't quite capture accurate shipping costs. Use fulfillment profiles to create product specific shipping rules, for example, a flat rate option for yoga mats and a weight dependent option for meditation cushions, to calculate shipping separately for each product. For my store, I'll use fulfillment profiles to offer different delivery methods for each of my physical products. So let's say my meditation cushions were quite heavy and therefore wouldn't make sense for me to ship them since shipping would cost a lot. Even though I've set up both shipping and pickup options for my store, I could limit my meditation cushions to only be available for in-store pickup and then offer all of the fulfillment options for my yoga mats. The first step is to make sure your store's shipping and pickup options have been created. Next, scroll down the shipping panel and click Set up Fulfillment Profiles. If you don't have any shipping or pickup options for your store, here you'll be prompted to create one. I've already set up my fulfillment options, so I can proceed by clicking Add Custom Profile. I need to enter the name of this profile, and this should be an easy way for you to identify the products a profile will apply to, like cushion, or to organize by the types of options the profile covers, like white glove delivery. For organizational purposes, I'll name this pickup, and then select my in-store pickup option, and then click Save, and done. Okay, I now see I've been directed to the inventory panel. This is to help you complete the crucial final step. After you've created the fulfillment profiles, you'll need to assign them to their related products. I'll select the meditation cushion to open the product editor and then scroll down to fulfillment and then click the drop down menu and select pickup. Now you may have noticed that a default profile was automatically assigned to this product. The default fulfillment profile contains all of the shipping and pickup options you've created for your store, and your products are automatically assigned this default. Since my yoga mats will support all shipping and pickup options, I won't need to create a separate fulfillment profile for my yoga mats since it's already assigned the default. Now we'll save my changes, and next we'll run a test order to see how fulfillment profiles appear at checkout. Now before running a test order, make sure test mode is enabled on your site. Go to Commerce, Store Payments, then select Test Mode to enable this feature if it's turned off for you. Our built-in test mode feature is available if you've connected Stripe, so if you only plan to accept PayPal for your store, you can place a real order and refund yourself. We're all set here, so let's head back to the home menu and then go to my shop page. So to my shopping cart, let's add one yoga mat. I'll add teal with carrier, add to cart. Then let's go back to my shop page and add one meditation cushion. Okay, in my site header, I'll click the shopping cart icon to view my shopping cart page, and then click checkout. On the checkout page, I'll first enter my email address, continue, and then go to step 2, delivery methods. Now, right away, I see there are separate delivery methods for each product, and that shipping is not available for the cushion. I can also hover over the featured images to see the order details for each. I can select store pickup for both, but I'm curious to see how a customer could select pickup for one and shipping for the other. To see the shipping options for the yoga mat, I'll need to enter my shipping address to view those options. So I'll enter name and my shipping address and a phone number. Okay, and now I can scroll up to see the available shipping options for my yoga mat. If you recall the free delivery option we created earlier, that option does not apply to me since I'm not in that postal code. Also keep in mind that since express shipping is my weight-dependent option, increasing the quantity of my yoga mat will also increase the cost of that shipping method from $5 to $10 per the weight ranges that I set. So that's why it's particularly important to run test orders so you know how customers are being charged. After running a test order, you might even find you need to edit some of your options. Let's click continue to move on. And I see that under payment, the card information is pre-populated since this is a test order. And I'll click use shipping address and then continue. In the order summary to the right, I see my products are separated by fulfillment method, shipping on top and pickup below. And it all looks great. So I'll go ahead and click purchase. Now, a confirmation page tells me the order has been split into 2 orders since different fulfillment methods are being used. And now I know how my customers will experience checkout with the fulfillment profiles. Once you run a few different test orders and are satisfied with the checkout flow, remember to return to the payments panel to disable test mode before launching your store. Now, finally, if you offer shipping with USPS, are on a business or commerce plan, ship within the US, and meet other requirements listed in our Buy and Print Shipping Labels Guide, you can save an extra step to the post office and print USPS shipping labels straight from your home. Go to Commerce, Orders, and click on an order. Now, the option won't appear for a test order, but here's where you would see the Purchase Label button. We've also made this feature easier to use by making it possible to purchase labels via the Squarespace iOS app. And if you're looking to print mailing labels from other major carriers or need to outsource packaging and shipping, we may have a third-party service that could be just what your business needs. Check out our extensions in the Settings, Extensions panel, or our extensions webinar to learn more about streamlining certain key tasks. If you've joined the session to see what shipping options are available in Squarespace or to make your fulfillment process more efficient, I'd recommend shipping and fulfillment extensions. Though we encourage you to check them all out, as we have extensions that help with all parts of running your business. Now, we've covered a lot of information regarding all things shipping, and there's much to consider, especially if you're a merchant outside the US. You can utilize flat rate shipping or weight dependent shipping, though please note that weight dependent shipping does not account for shipping distance. And since we encourage all merchants to consider the shipping costs that would work for your business, a helpful way to start is by choosing a carrier, seeing their estimated costs for the types of products you sell, and then determining a fair cost for your store. Also, for our international merchants, you can set a country to be pre-selected for shipping and billing addresses at checkout. It'll be set to United States by default, so if you're primarily selling to customers in your country, be sure to go to Commerce, Cart and Checkout, and under the Checkout Page section, select the Default Country in Address field drop-down menu and choose your country to be pre-selected. To correctly set this up, you must have at least one shipping rule set up for your country. We want to make sure all merchants are set up for success, so if you've got site-specific questions, please reach out to our customer support team for more personalized assistance. We'll show you how to get in touch at the end. Now, before we dive into our final topic, taxes, we want to take a moment to clarify that when it comes to collecting taxes, the scope of our support at Squarespace is to point you in the direction of setting up your tax rates. Therefore, no part of this webinar should be construed or relied upon in any way as legal or tax accounting advice. Per our terms of service, Squarespace doesn't provide advice or recommendations regarding laws applicable to your site or business. If you have questions about collecting taxes, please consult with a tax advisor. Now, there are two ways to set up sales tax in Squarespace: an automatic way and a manual way, and where you sell your products will determine which option is available to you. For example, if you're located and sell in the United States, you can use either automatic or manual option. And before we proceed, I want to clarify that how Squarespace calculates taxes depends on the product type. Taxes for physical products are determined by the customer's shipping address, whereas taxes for service and digital products are determined by the customer's billing address, unless a physical product is part of the order. And for orders being fulfilled via local pickup, the billing address will also determine the sales tax, regardless of the product type. You can find more information on how sales tax is calculated at checkout in the tax-related guides on the resources page. Let's begin with setting up automatic tax rates with TaxJar in the Taxes panel. You can also access TaxJar directly from the Extensions panel. If you sell in the US and want to set up automatic tax rates, you'll do so with our TaxJar extension. And by automatic, we mean that you don't need to add the tax rates yourself. Instead, in TaxJar, you'll need to add the locations where you'll be collecting sales tax. Then the rates for those locations will be automatically calculated at checkout on your site. So here in the Taxes panel, you can click the TaxJar extension, and then click Connect to create your account. In your TaxJar account, you'll be prompted to complete the TaxJar business profile, and then you'll need to add the registered states where you'll charge sales tax. Setting up your taxable locations in TaxJar is a crucial step for your customers to be charged tax. At checkout, customers living in your registered states will automatically see the sales tax calculated once they enter their shipping or billing address. With TaxJar, you can also set up tax rates based on the product type by categorizing your products in your account. This extension is free to use if you're on either of our commerce plans. If you're on the business plan, you can either upgrade your Squarespace plan or sign up for TaxJar's professional plan. Okay, next, let's look at the option available to merchants selling in the US and not using TaxJar, or to merchants selling outside the US. So this is our built-in way to manually set up tax rates for your store. Heading back to Commerce, Taxes, scroll to the Additional Settings section where we have Manual Setup, and click Add Rate to add a new tax rate. I'll first demonstrate adding taxes for merchants selling in the United States. So once I selected the country, I'll need to specify the state this tax rate applies to, as each state has its own tax rules. Click Next, and then enter the state rate. And switch on the toggles if you are required to charge tax on service products and member area memberships or on shipping. And remember, and similar to what we saw with shipping zones, you can add a rate for a single zip code or for a range of zip codes by clicking Add Zip Code Rate. And if you sell in Canada, you can add province rates. For non-UX tax rates, once you select the country from the drop-down menu, you can enter the tax name, which will appear for customers at checkout and in order notifications, and then enter the country rate. If you charge VAT and are looking to set up tax-inclusive pricing, in the Taxes panel, under How Tax is Added, select the Include in Price option after you've created the manual tax rate. Selecting this option will ensure that tax is not added at checkout and instead will be included in the product price. You can then go to Commerce, Cart and Checkout, and go to Receipt Details to customize the information customers will see on their order receipts. Please see our guide on collecting VAT or GST for more on this. Okay, and to summarize, if you only sell in the United States, you'll need to choose one method, automatic or manual, to set up tax rates. If you sell both in the US and outside the US, add manual tax rates for sales outside the US and use either automatic or manual rates for sales within the US. If you only sell outside the US, you'll need to manually add your tax rates. Our customer support advisors are here to guide you through connecting the TaxJar extension, but if you've got questions specific to TaxJar, please reach out to them directly. TaxJar links can be found on our resources page. At checkout, the appropriate taxes will appear once the customer enters their address. In the same way, applicable shipping options automatically appear once customers enter their shipping address. And once you set up your tax rates, we encourage you to run additional test orders with different addresses to see that taxes are being calculated correctly. Okay, and with that, we have reached the end of today's webinar. To recap, we added shipping options and set up shipping rates, created product-specific shipping rules with fulfillment profiles, and looked at how to set up your store's tax rates. Before we part, I want to highlight some great resources you have at your disposal while you're working on your sites. In our resources window, you can find Squarespace Help with guides and video tutorials for the various features of Squarespace. In addition to our help site, we also have our customer support team available via email and live chat to answer any questions you may have while working on your website. To reach customer support, you can scroll to the bottom of any guide on support.squarespace.com or visit squarespace.com, scroll all the way down, and select Contact Us. You can also use the Squarespace app to manage your site on the go. This is available on both Android and iOS devices. We also offer additional webinar sessions focused on a range of other Squarespace topics. Visit learning.squarespace.com for more. To wrap up today, again, you can access this webinar session URL to rewatch the webinar at any time. We'll also resend you the link to this session in our follow-up email. And remember, we've set up the Merchant 10 discount code so all webinar attendees can take 10% off their first purchase at checkout. Once again, my name is Eunice, and it was my pleasure to introduce you to setting up shipping and taxes for Squarespace Commerce. Take care.